Hello people of YouTube and welcome back. As you can see, what am I doing here? I said it was going to be 2 months until I'm making a video. Well, what it was is I was trying to watch something on YouTube the other day and there was absolutely nothing. I'm a bit worried that people are going to start like breaking into zoos and start eating all the animals in there. That's what seems to be happening on YouTube now. Everyone seems to be doing some, I don't know what's going on. So I thought I'd do a pickups video, see if I can get other people to do the same, because I kind of miss seeing pickup videos, even though I'm not trying to buy stuff. Look, I've got empty shelves still, but that's what this is. We've got some tasty bits to show, some nice retro, going all the way to modern retro, I would say. But yeah, I got myself a nice little beer because it's absolutely scalding outside. Oh, it's like height of the summer. Poor Pocky's over there, huffing and puffing away. I'm not too sure if you can hear her. We just come back from a nice walk. But yeah, so I thought I'd say cheers to everyone. Hope you're all doing okay, not overheating. But yeah, it's nice and cool down here. We're not in a game room because game rooms are usually where all the heat are. But yeah, this is my game room now anyway. Anyway, enough jibber jabbering. What have I got? So yeah, I've got some video games to show you. First up, we're going to go to the old NES because supposedly there's a rumour going around no one buys retro anymore. So here is some retro for you. So we have got Adventure Island 2 for the NES. So if you can see here, probably not. This is actually the American version, and there's a really big distinction between this and the British one. Is the label is completely different. So I was just randomly browsing eBay the other day, and I saw Adventure Island 3, which we never get over here, for sale for an extortionate amount, but probably reasonable at the same time. And I was very tempted to buy it, but then I remembered I've only got the first one. I've not got the second one in my collection, so I had to jump out, see if there was any for sale, and this was cheap enough. I think this is like 15 quid, which isn't bad, and I absolutely love the Adventure Island games. They're really good. Basically it's Wonder Boy made by someone else, Hudson Soft, that's it. So the first Adventure Island is basically the original Wonder Boy, and then after that it's sort of like branched into its own little direction. So I think the Adventure Island games are more spiritual successors to the original Wonder Boy in my eyes. They are exactly how Wonder Boy sort of you would see naturally progress into. Yeah, whereas Wonder Boy kind of did its own thing and became pretty fantastic. They are probably the better games out of the two, but I still really love the Adventure Island games. Still not played the third one, and the price that it was going probably won't be. And I'm gonna just add another one in here. I don't know where it is at the moment, or in the last video, which is why I forgot. And it's a game that I picked up from Birmingham Game Market, and it is for the NES, and that's why it's reminded me. It's Barbie. I'm going to put a little video up here of it's playing. And yeah, why did I get Barbie? Here, I'm going to hold it here as well. Why did I get Barbie for the NES? Well, a long time ago, I was on the Games World Live TV show. On Sky, there used to be their own video game sort of like magazine. There used to be episodes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it was all slightly different to each other. I'm pretty certain it was either Monday or Friday Games World Live was on, and basically what happened is they went into other people's houses, and then they would film it from that house, and then they would like get other contestants to play on a telephone against them, and see who would win on that episode. And I was one of the telephone contestants back in the day. I must have been about 12 or 13. In fact, I must have been 13. I think I was in second year of senior school. I think. I'm pretty certain it was that. Yeah, I can remember getting my letter of acceptance, and I brought it to school, and everyone was like, so what? I had a couple of, when I was filming it on the actual episode, I had a couple of friends around, and we did video camera it from inside the house for our own amusement. But I don't know what happened to that video. It's a shame. You could have seen little adolescent Eddie making an absolute fool of himself. But yeah, on that episode, basically the reason why I got Barbie, let's go back to Barbie. I won the Barbie games as a BB prize. So basically I got to the final, and I lost the final because I just went completely brain numb. I mean, you know what I'm like at this age. I was just the same when I was back then. So yeah, I knew the answers, but I just couldn't like verbalize them. So that was the reason why I lost. And I got to choose a booby prize because of it. And well, not choose a booby prize. It was just like, I think it was like you chose an envelope, and you either had a good prize or a bad prize. I got the bad prize, which was Barbie for the NES, Barbie for the Game Boy, and Barbie something else. And the top prize was a Donkey Kong console box, which I would have absolutely loved. And that is going to be hopefully in a pickups video in the next year or two, because it is high on my priority of getting. I would love to get one of those. But anyway, that's the reason why I bought Barbie for the NES, just sort of nostalgia. So that's the NES generation done. So we're going to skip a couple of generations, but we're going to stay Nintendo. And in fact, I'll pop that one there. So I've been selling a load of my games, and who was he? Colbana, Jim. Jim has been acquiring games at an expansive rate just recently. But not only that, but he's been upgrading some of his games in an amazing way of basically going to CEX and getting the unbox prices. So in doing so, he's upgraded some of his games and left the fact that he's got some other games still to well, to trade. So I said to him, look, I've got some stuff, you've got some stuff, let's make a trade. And he came over randomly, like last minute on a Sunday, this Sunday just gone, and we did a trade, and I'm really pleased. So thanks a lot for this, Jim, after my big ramble. So what did I get? I got a big pile of N64 games. And the first game is, there is no real order to these, Perfect Dark. So I've never actually played Perfect Dark. I played GoldenEye and I played Perfect Dark on the 360, but I've never actually gone back to the original. I never liked GoldenEye, so yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be better than GoldenEye. I'm not too sure. I know it's sort of like that sort of thing. Space Station Silicon Valley. I think this is called like Evo on PS1, isn't it? Space something Evo on PS1. I think basically this actually looks quite good. I think, if I remember correctly, this is going back years of like looking at stuff, because I've not really researched it. I'm pretty certain this is something where the reason why it's called Evo on PS1 is you kind of like change into different creatures. It's like a platforming game, and your power-ups are changing into different creatures, if I remember correctly. It could be a completely different game, but yeah, an interesting one nonetheless. A good game. This is a really good game. I've really wanted to get this, and in fact I forgot to bring something over as well. Doom 64. Now, I always sort of shunned this game back in the day because I used to play this on the PC, and I was like a PC snob for Doom back then, just like probably a lot of us, to be honest. So I never really wanted to play it, but obviously in hindsight, this is actually a completely different game. And yeah, I've played a little bit on modern consoles emulating this, but not the original one. So I've just had an RGB modded N64, so I can't wait to play this, where it's going to look really nice as well. And it's had the de-blur mod on it as well. So yeah, I forgot to bring over the manual, so I've actually got the manual for that. Next up, a game very intrigued about, and it is V-Rally for the N64. And the reason why I'm intrigued is not really played that many racing games on the N64, but the ones I have are really good and like really fast and everything like that. But this is mainly known as a PS1 game, I think. To me, when you think of V-Rally, it's definitely PlayStation. So I think this is going to be quite a good little blast, and I will definitely play it. Next up, we have got Mario Party 2. So yeah, a bit of a big hitter. This is quite a bit of a pricey title. I had to sit down when we was working out the prices. But yeah, we did a good old fair trade, I think. Hopefully Jim's happy with it all. But yeah, this one is a game I've never played. I never really saw Mario Party talked about a lot when I was a kid. I had an N64, but yeah, like, I don't know what it was. Maybe I was more into more adult themed games at the time, and it sort of like passed me by. But yeah, I'm really intrigued because I got Mario Party on the Wii U and I like the concept, but the execution was just so slow getting in between all the mini games. I just want to play mini games. They sound really fun, but yeah, that is what I've got. Next up, we have got Book Bundle. So Book Bumble. So I think is this. Yeah, this is by Argonaut Studios, who do Star Fox. So I know this is a good game, but I can't really fully remember if this is a platformer, like a 3D platformer or something else. I can't really remember, but it's always one that's intrigued me. So yeah, that's added to the list. And next up, we've got WrestleMania 2000. Now, I'm not really a big fan of these wrestling games, but yeah, it's kind of a staple for the N64, isn't it? Really, I was quite surprised how much this actually cost. It's quite an expensive title, really, for a sports title, for a loose sports title. I wasn't actually expecting how much it was. Next up, the game that started the GTA 3D series. So basically, this is by DMA Designs. They made an open world game with this, which was quite unusual for an N64 game. And yeah, and it sort of like was the catalyst to GTA. I'm sure there's going to be more people that are a bit more in depth with their review of this. So go out there and look about it if you're interested on this. But yeah, I've never played it, but it sounds interesting. I'm not really too big on open world games unless they are like really full of stuff to do, and I don't think this era is going to probably captivate me as much as they should. And so this is the last game that we traded, and this one is a doozy. This is one I've been wanting for so long, and it is Banjo-Tooie. So this is the sequel to Banjo-Kazooie, and yeah, this is really shooting up. Every time I look at getting this, it seems to go up another 10-20 quid. So yeah, it was just nice to be able to trade games to get it. So yeah, really big thanks for this, Jim. I'm pleased with this. I think you're pleased with it. You've got some really good things to show as well. It's not just tat. It's good stuff. So keep an eye open on Jim's big box of pickups that he's got soon. So yeah, that is the retro cartridges. We're going into disc systems now, and we are going Japanese. Oh fuck! I forgot I was gonna see what the name of this game is. I can't remember what it's called. Oh dear. Yeah, so I got this stupidly cheap. I got this like half price for a normal version, and I got it as the big box version, and it's sealed. So what is it called? I'm gonna have to do an insert name here, aren't I? So what is this? I've stopped buying 360 games now, haven't I? But the odd one creeps in. Now, I really want this on PS3. I still would. If someone wants to trade me this for the PS3 version, I would happily do so, as it's the last PS3 shmup that I need. But when I was browsing for that one, I saw this, and it was so cheap, I couldn't say no. So this is sort of a stopgap, but also I'm really happy with this. This is a really cool special edition. I say special edition, basically it's a normal edition with the soundtrack and the perfect terror, which is a let's play of the game. Look at this. I mean, I just love all this proper Japanese artwork and stuff. Look at it, it's so cool. God, what is it called? It's doing my head in now. But yeah, so this is a sort of like a vertical cute 'em up shooter that's sort of like in 3D sprites. It's not my typical shooter that I would play, but it looks really cool, really interesting. It's not been ported over to anything, so yeah, really pleased to have got that in the collection. So yeah, no more PS3 or 360, and we're going to be going into my favourite system of all time. Has to be, and it's PS4. I was watching Girly Gamer the other day, and she mentioned how she's got all the PS4 games that she wants, and I could buy PS4 games for the rest of eternity. In fact, I probably will be, because there's so many games I want to play, there's so many games that interest me, and they're all starting to become really cheap now. So I mentioned the other day I took a load of stuff to CEX, and I bought a couple of games, and this was another one of the games that I got, and it was Phobia. Phobia Denial Hospital. I fucking I'm turning into bloody big game out there. So yeah, a cool horror game. I'm not expecting too much on this game, but I don't know. I think it's going to be cool. It's going to be definitely an interesting game. Spooky. As long as it's not one of the ones that you can't attack, then I'll probably be all right. I'm not very good at the ones that you've kind of got to hide. I'm not a hider. I'm a all out sort of attacking kind of guy. Next up, we have got. So I got this £8 from Amazon. Hat in Time. So this includes the Seal the Deal DLC on the back. Now, funny story about this. I actually, before I got rid of all my games, I wanted to go play this game. So I looked at my shelves and I couldn't find it. I looked in the A section and the H section, and lo and behold, it wasn't there. I swear I had this game. But when I saw it for £8, I was like, it's a no-brainer. Get it now. So this is a cool 3D platformer. I thought it was a bit like of a Mario style game, but it's not. It's I would probably more akin it to Sly Cooper kind of games, but not quite as good. I love them Sly Cooper games, but yeah, I've just done the first stage so far, the first bit, not stage, and it's quite interesting. It's definitely an indie game, an indie take of a 3D platformer, but to say it is indie, it's quite a lot going on, but it's still very basic at the same time. It's sort of like a little bit in between the two. I think with a bit of a budget, that game would have been amazing. I think if there's a Hat in Time 2, that is definitely going to be an interesting game. Next, we have got some games from NIS, not the corner shop, but NIS Europe. I don't know why it's called NIS, but it seems to be. Yeah, I've not gone to go get some digestives. I've gone to get some Disgaea. So the next 3 games I got, so I've got the 2 Disgaea games and this. It probably cost me about £16 in total. Absolutely, what an absolute steal. That's over 2 shipments as well. So yeah, these Disgaea games, I love the Disgaea games, but I've just never been able to beat one because they're just so long and then they get too challenging for me. But yeah, I've not played Disgaea 6. We're up to Disgaea 7 right now, and then this is Disgaea 4. So yeah, really pleased to get these. I love the pretties and the dudes and everything like that. It's such a cool series. So let's put them there. So I'm gonna put them like that. Next up, we have got Waza, Way of the Thief. I actually have no idea what this is, other than the fact it's a few quid. So it was a no-brainer. I thought it was quite cool. Like, honestly, it probably cost like £3. So why not? Why not indeed? Next up, also from CEX, we have got Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, the Super Edition. Now, this is pretty cool. It's like a one-on-one fighter in the Power Rangers world. And yeah, I'm not a big Power Rangers fan, I've got to say. It was a series that was on. It was okay to watch, just sort of like mindlessly in the background, but I never got into it. I was definitely too old for the toys and everything like that back then, but yeah, just pleased to have got this for cheap. I think it was like £15 all in, £14 with trade credit, so yeah, basically cost me nothing. But yeah, I believe this Super Edition is all the DLC on disc. I'm hoping so anyway. I've not even checked if it's even got the disc. I'm hoping it's on disc because we've not got any sort of like pamphlets. And I believe Chun-Li, you can play as Chun-Li on this, so that's pretty cool. And it's sort of like a basic fighter sort of thing, where you don't have to know all the moves. It's sort of like a really easy to. I think you press a button to get special moves, and then you're away. Next up, we've got a game I've been wanting for the longest time. I was hoping for it to drop, but I think this costs £20. It's one of the more. In fact, this is probably it's one of the more expensive games I've got, and it's yeah, this is really cool. Sort of side-scrolling action platformer brawler. Yeah, really cool. I mean, this ticks all the right boxes for me. Just insane sort of like graphics. I think it's pretty tricky, and yeah, it's an in games, and they're pretty much coming up with the best games at the moment. Like pretty much any game that's been released by I've had to get it because it's right up my street. Next up, this is a version of a game that I've been wanting for a long time, and I saw it went really cheap, and then all of a sudden it went really expensive again. But on the game collection, I think it was like 13 quid, 12 or 13 quid, and it is Mortal Kombat 11 Play and Watch. So yeah, I've not played the new Mortal Kombats like the 10 and 11, but I've heard they're really good. I've heard they're sort of like there's a lot of story to them. So it's, if you're not really a big fighter into big fighting games, you probably enjoy this. So yeah, I like fighters, but I'm just not very good at them. So if this can encapsulate someone who's not very good at fighters because of the storyline, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to play it. And as well, this comes with a free movie, Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge. So that's pretty cool. So for 13 quid, let's say, it's a no-brainer really. Yeah, and as well, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm slowly, casually going for a Brawler set, a one-on-one fighter set. So where can we put this? Let's put it here. A one-on-one fighter set. So yeah, that would be pretty cool to do. Next up, a game from Red Art Games that sold out and become expensive. There's not many of them around. So for me, that means it is quite a good game. And I had this in my CEX search list for ages, forever, not thinking it would come into play. And then I got a notification to say this is in stock. So I had to buy it straight away, and it's Sculptful, Shrouded Insanity. So this is a sort of Castlevania Symphony of the Night clone, but the fact it is so, it's got some value to it, because I think this goes between 60 to 80 quid. It must be quite good. There's a sequel that's just been announced, and I've actually got that on pre-order. And yeah, I'm really looking at it. Look, it's such a Castlevania Symphony of Night like rip-off, isn't it? This is probably the most unabashed version of Symphony of the Night that you can see on a cover. But yeah, I'm really pleased to get this, and this was 18 quid, which was probably about the same, if not less, than if it was from Red Art Games. So yeah, really pleased to have got that. That was not one I was expecting to get, so it's nice to have the collection. So I might be ruining someone's spoilers here, but so what I'll just say is, a certain person showed this in a WhatsApp group, and I didn't know anything about it. I've never heard of it, but the cover and the name just drew me in, and I had to look out for it. And on Amazon, I found Holger. It's not Beholder, it's Holger. Holger, the collector's edition. I thought this was going to be a bit of a bigger box, because this was like twice the price of the normal edition. I thought it was just going to come with some really good, cool stuff, but yeah, it just comes with a little art book, exclusive coin, poster, soundtrack. I don't know how they got all this in here, to be fair, but yeah, it's got a cooler version of the box, I've got to say. This looks awesome. This was just a proper spur of the moment, sort of like I don't know, on the whim sort of like purchase. But the gameplay absolutely looks fantastic. My kind of game, sort of a Metroidvania, Conan the Barbarian style game. Yeah, you don't see many of these anymore. I mean, I used to love this sort of game. Just reminds me of Capcom. Like, Capcom made these kind of games the best, and because of that, I had to get it. It was just like one of my favorite eras of video games, like this sort of like mythical sort of half naked men attacking like mythical creatures. So yeah, like, had to get this. I'm hoping this doesn't drop in price. I've got a feeling it won't. This is like a Spanish release, although everything on the back is in English except for certain things. But yeah, this comes from Spain, from Amazon Spain. Don't think you can get it over here yet, but it's not one of the limited run kind of companies or anything. But yeah, really pleased to get that. So Z named person, thanks for pointing this out. So that's everything. So my shelves are starting to look pretty full now. I could almost call myself a video game collector. Again, that's not very good, is it? That's not very good at all, is it? So yeah, thanks for watching. I said if I give you a date on when I'm not going to do one of this, I'm just going to probably do something completely different, aren't I? So I'm not going to give you a date. I'm just going to say thanks for watching. Hopefully make a pickups video like I just did here. Hopefully I've given you the inspiration to do so. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.